Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Speech-a-Lingo, your favorite podcast for boosting your English confidence in real-life situations. I'm Charlie, and I'm super excited to be here with my amazing co-host, Riley.
And I'm Riley. It's fantastic to be back and connect with all our listeners. We love helping you navigate the world in English. And today, we've got another incredibly practical episode lined up that will make your next trip much smoother.
Absolutely. Today, we're diving deep into a scenario that almost every traveler faces, checking into a hotel. It sounds simple, right? You arrive, you get your key, and you go to your room. But for English learners, this can sometimes be a little intimidating.
That's so true, Charlie. Imagine this. You've had a long flight, you're tired, and all you want to do is get to your room. You walk up to the front desk, and the receptionist starts speaking quickly, asking questions about your reservation, your ID, your credit card, maybe even suggesting upgrades. It can feel like a lot to process, especially if you're not fully confident in your English.
Exactly. We've all been there. You might hear phrases like, "Do you have a reservation under a different name?" Or, "Would you like to authorize a pre-authorization for incidentals?" And you think, uh-oh, what does pre-authorization mean? What are incidentals? It's easy to get lost in the jargon and feel a bit flustered.
And that's precisely why we're here. In this extensive episode, we're going to break down the entire hotel check-in process, step by step, providing you with all the essential vocabulary, phrases, and polite expressions you'll need to feel completely at ease. Our goal is for you to walk up to that front desk, speak confidently, and handle any situation like a seasoned traveler.
We'll start from the very moment you enter the hotel lobby and approach the front desk. We'll cover how to greet the receptionist, how to confirm your reservation smoothly, and what information you'll need to provide. Then we'll move on to understanding those tricky questions about payment, deposits, and common hotel policies.
We'll also explore how to make specific requests, like asking for a quiet room or a room with a view, and how to inquire about hotel amenities like Wi-Fi, breakfast, or the gym. And, of course, we'll equip you with phrases to handle small issues, should they arise, and even how to check out gracefully.
By the end of this episode, you won't just know what to say, but how to say it with natural intonation and politeness. You'll learn useful terms like check-in time, room key, minibar, deposit, shuttle service, and many more, all explained in a way that's easy to understand and remember.
So whether you're traveling for business, a family vacation, or a solo adventure, you'll be fully prepared to make your hotel experience stress-free and enjoyable. Let's make that check-in a breeze. Are you ready, Charlie?
Absolutely ready, Riley. Let's imagine our listeners have just arrived at a beautiful hotel after a long journey. They're walking into the lobby, and there's the front desk. What's the very first thing they should say?
Great question. The key is to start with a polite greeting. You can keep it simple and friendly. For example, if it's morning, you could say, "Good morning, I have a reservation," or "Hello, I'm checking in." Both are perfectly natural and clear.
Simple and effective. And what if they arrive in the afternoon or evening?
Then you'd adjust the greeting, of course. "Good afternoon, I have a reservation," or "Good evening, I'm checking in." Always remember to add please if you're making a request, but for a simple statement like "I'm checking in," it's optional but still very polite if you add it, like "I'm checking in, please."
Got it. So after the greeting, the receptionist will likely ask your name to find your reservation. How should our listeners respond?
They'll typically hear something like, "Under what name is the reservation?" Or could I have your last name, please? You can simply state your full name. It's Charlie Evans. Or, to be even more helpful, you might spell out your last name, especially if it's uncommon, like it's Riley, R-A-I-L-I.
That's a really good tip. Spelling out names can prevent a lot of confusion, especially with international names. What if you booked through a third-party website, like Booking.com or Expedia?
Excellent point. If you booked through a site like that, it's helpful to mention it if the receptionist can't find your reservation right away. You could say, I made a reservation through Booking.com under the name Charlie Evans, or my booking was made via Expedia. My name is Riley Johnson. This gives them an extra piece of information to locate your details quickly.
Fantastic. So you've provided your name, the reservation is found. What's the next typical step from the receptionist?
They'll usually ask for ID and a credit card. You'll hear phrases like, "May I see your ID and credit card, please?" Or, "Could I have your passport and a credit card for incidentals?" Always be prepared to show a valid government-issued ID, like a passport for international travelers or a driver's license.
For incidentals, that's one of those phrases that can confuse people. What does that mean exactly?
Yes, incidentals. This is a key term in hotel stays. It refers to any extra costs you might incur during your stay beyond the room rate. Think of things like using the minibar, ordering room service, watching a paid movie, or making long-distance calls from your room. The hotel typically takes a pre-authorization on your credit card for these potential charges. It's not an actual charge yet, just a hold on a certain amount of money, which is released if you don't spend anything extra.
So it's like a temporary security deposit, but for potential extra expenses, not for damage to the room.
Got it. And if the receptionist asks, would you like to authorize a pre-authorization for incidentals? How should I respond?
If you understand what it means and you're fine with it, a simple, yes, that's fine, thank you, or certainly, here's my card, will work. If you're a bit confused or want to clarify, you can always say, could you please explain what incidentals covers, or what's the usual amount for the pre-authorization? It's always okay to ask for clarification.
That's a really important point, Riley. Never be afraid to ask for clarification, even if you feel like you should know. It's much better than agreeing to something you don't understand.
Absolutely. Politeness and a clear question go a long way. After they take your ID and credit card, they'll process the check-in. They might confirm details like your checkout date. You might hear, so you'll be staying with us until Saturday, June 10th? Or your checkout is on the 12th, correct? Just confirm with, yes, that's right, or correct.
And what about check-in time? Is that something that comes up?
Yes, it often does. Standard check-in time is usually around 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. If you arrive earlier, they might say, your room isn't quite ready yet, as our standard check-in time is 3 p.m. In this situation, you have a few options. You could ask, is it possible to check in a bit earlier? Or, do you know when the room might be ready? Sometimes they can accommodate you, or they might offer to store your luggage.
Oh, that's a good phrase. Store my luggage. How would I ask that?
You could say, if the room isn't ready, is there somewhere I can leave my luggage? Or, could you store my bags for me until the room is ready? Most hotels offer this service, usually free of charge, and it's super convenient if you want to explore the area before your room is ready.
Perfect. Now, let's say the room is ready, or it's past check-in time. What if I have a specific request for my room? Like, I want a quiet room or a room with a nice view.
This is where you can really customize your stay. You can phrase your requests politely. I was wondering if it's possible to get a room on a higher floor, or do you have any rooms available that are away from the elevator? If you prefer a non-smoking room, you can say, Could I please have a non-smoking room? Most hotels are non-smoking by default now, but it's good to confirm.
And what if I want a room with a view? That's always a nice bonus.
It certainly is. You could ask, are there any rooms with a view available? Or is there an option for a room overlooking the city, ocean, or park? Sometimes there's an extra charge for a specific view, and they'll let you know. If you've mentioned this when you made the reservation, you can remind them, I requested a room with a view when I booked online. Is that possible?
So, essentially, always be polite, clear, and make your request as a question rather than a demand. Is it possible to, or could I please have?
Exactly. Those polite request structures are gold in English. They show respect and make the interaction much smoother. After all these details are sorted, the receptionist will hand you your room key or key card. They'll likely tell you your room number and give you directions.
Such as, your room is 507 on the 5th floor. Take the elevator just down the hall.
Precisely. Or they might say, your room is 212. It's on the 2nd floor, down the corridor to your left. If you're unsure where to go, you can always ask, could you please point me towards the elevator? Or, which way is the 2nd floor? Don't hesitate to ask for directions within the hotel.
And sometimes they'll give you a map of the hotel, right?
Yes, often they'll provide a small map, especially in larger hotels, and might highlight your room location or the amenities. If they don't, and you think it would be helpful, you can ask, do you have a map of the hotel?
Wonderful. So we've covered the initial greeting, confirming the reservation, providing ID and credit card, understanding incidentals, making specific room requests, and getting the room key and directions. That's a lot of ground for just the start of the check-in process.
It really is, Charlie, and it highlights how many micro-conversations make up one simple interaction. But by breaking it down like this, our listeners can see that each step is manageable with a few key phrases.
Definitely. For our B1, B2 listeners, practicing these specific phrases will build a strong foundation. Remember, confidence comes from preparation. Knowing what to expect and what to say makes a huge difference.
And we're just getting started. We've successfully navigated the first hurdle of getting your room. Next, we'll dive into more details of the hotel stay itself. Things like asking about breakfast, Wi-Fi, the gym, and how to handle any small issues you might encounter in your room.
So don't go anywhere. Grab a pen and paper if you're taking notes, or just relax and keep listening. We're going to continue our journey into the world of hotels and make sure you're fully equipped for your next English-speaking adventure.
This is Speech Lingo, and we're just checking in to our exciting hotel English episode. Stay tuned for more practical tips and phrases coming right up.
And that wraps up our thorough guide to English for hotel check-in and check-out. Really, I feel like we've armed our listeners with enough specific, practical language to confidently handle any scenario at the front desk.
I agree, Charlie. When you look at the entire process, from that initial "I have a reservation" to asking about the Wi-Fi and finally settling the itemized bill, it really demonstrates how much functional English is packed into one seemingly simple interaction.
It's amazing, isn't it? We moved beyond just saying hello and thank you. We learned how to manage expectations, negotiate late checkout times, and politely resolve disputes over charges. These are high-level communication skills delivered in B1, B2 accessible language.
Exactly. And the most significant takeaway, which applies to all real-life English usage, is the power of being polite and calm. Remember those golden phrases? Could you please clarify? Or, is it possible to? They open doors and instantly make the staff more willing to assist you quickly and effectively.
I want to reiterate our focus on the vocabulary for incidentals and pre-authorization. These words trip up so many travelers, and knowing them means the difference between feeling confused and being in control of your finances while abroad. Never hesitate to ask, when will the hold be released?
Great point. And for those moments when things go wrong, the key card fails or the air conditioning breaks, having those clear, simple sentences ready, like, the shower is leaking in room 305, prevents stress. Clarity is key in emergencies or when requesting maintenance.
For our listeners who are planning a trip soon, we highly recommend writing down the top 3 phrases you are most nervous about using and practicing them. Practice saying your name clearly. Practice asking for the Wi-Fi password, and practice asking about the checkout time. Repetition builds muscle memory for language.
Absolutely. And remember, the hotel staff deals with international travelers every single day. They are used to hearing different accents and different levels of English proficiency. They are there to help you, not to judge your grammar. Your effort to communicate in English is always appreciated.
So, as you prepare for your next adventure, whether it's a big city hotel or a small guest house, take these tools with you. Use them, feel confident, and make your stay as smooth as possible. Language should enhance your travel, not complicate it.
Think of this episode as your personal hotel survival kit. Every time you approach a service desk in an English-speaking environment, you're not just practicing language, you're gaining confidence in your ability to navigate the world independently. That is the true goal of Speechalingo.
Beautifully said, Rayleigh. We hope you've enjoyed this in-depth guide. We love bringing you these practical, real-world lessons that you can start using immediately.
Don't forget to check out the show notes for a full vocabulary list and a summary of all the key phrases discussed today. Reviewing that material will solidify everything you've learned.
Thank you again for tuning in. We are Charlie and Rayleigh, and this has been Speechalingo, helping you master English for life and travel, one confident conversation at a time.
Until next time, keep practicing, keep traveling, and keep speaking English with confidence. Goodbye.
See you all soon.